Well, besides the old silicone you see around the outside, that's what the new seal should look like. And yes, there's anti-seize on the inside there. I just sprayed it down with a little card cleaner to make it easier to see. This is a... God, that is sloppy. Don't do that if you're doing this at home. Alright, here's something that I just spotted. And you always want to check this on every one of your motors that you're doing. This keyway is beat out in the crankshaft. Technically, we would throw this crankshaft out and just build an entirely different motor. But this one's not too terrible. And there's a fix that we came up with for years ago on this, where we'll install the keyway and we'll put some epoxy in there to fix that. If you have one with it slightly, if you're taking your motor apart because the timing's changed, because the timing belt pulley itself is loose, well, you just have to attack those individually. This one right here is tight and isn't loose, and we'll be able to fix it with an epoxy, and it'll virtually be like it was never damaged. But this is just because it was a timing belt put on, and it wasn't put together properly or tight. But I can fix this and make it look like new again. And I'll get it all cleaned up, right down to the metal, so the epoxy has something to stick to. Then we'll use the epoxy for a filler when we install that keyway. You know, I was just thinking I never showed this fix, so I thought I would on this particular one. So I've mixed up my epoxy, the engine's swinging so everything looks like it's moving. I've installed my keyway. Keyway fits good. Now I'm going to wipe it all out so it's nice and clean. If you wait till it's dry, then you're in there with a Dremel and stuff. That's too much work. It wipes out nice and clean and fills the gap perfectly. And then I'm going to put a little non-stick spray on the crank pulley when I slide it on there, and that'll let it come off at the next service. And everything will still be tight and the gaps will all be taken up. Really simple, really easy. This is a really simple one. A lot of times it's a lot more work when I got to get in and grind and work on it. I have enough cores where I usually just toss the crankshaft. But over the next few years, the cranks are going to be so few and far between that this repair is going to become common. Make sure you tighten all that stuff up right so you don't have to go through it. Make sure on these new clutch discs that you're filing this, and you're doing it on an angle. You're just cleaning them up just a little bit, just to open it up, and it'll make it easier to install. You clean that metal out of there. And then I seize it up. And then if you ever have to take it apart for any reason, later down the road, you're probably not going to need a clutch disc. But especially if you're pulling the tranny out or something like that. Holy smokes, this will make it a lot easier. But just the installation is just totally worth spending 5 minutes on doing that. Would have been nice if they would have put the bolts in the alternator bracket when they built this motor. Not a big deal, we'll get them replaced. And time to get a water pump. Well, I'm not sure if you can see this. Let's turn this line off here so it's quieter. This is a brand new water pump. Not sure how to hold this. Let's see if you can see it as it rotates around here. Hold on. Let me put it in my vise. This water pump. Hold on one second. Oh, just clamp her down right about there. This is a brand new water pump. I mean, probably within the last, I don't know, few thousand miles. Can you? You can only feel it right. It's got a bad bearing in it. It's brand new. Right there, right? Right there. And you can feel it's loose. No leaks or anything yet. See there, it's dry there. It's dry there. But just junk. And that's what happens when you buy stuff at the local parts store. It's just some knockoff copy by some Yahoo company. Use the factory stuff. It's a good thing we're throwing that away. Between the workmanship of the last person that had this car apart and these cheap parts, it didn't stand a chance. That's how you can buy a car that's got a rebuilt engine in it, and you go, well, how is it that I only got 30,000 miles out of it? And it's workmanship and parts. There's a reason that these cars leave the factory and drove so many years with no problems at all. Got to use that same stuff to get back in there. Thought I'd just pop that up there, though. I wish there was a feel-o-vision here on the thing, because you can just feel it. We're just right there, just bam, bam. Awful. Okay, just putting some heads together here for this red car. I should say a head. Just got everything bolted down on it. It's been CC'd. It's ported now. It's all ready to go. Got a couple more of them laying here. Busy, 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 busy. Got to get this car kicked out of here so I can get these other ones shipped. And I just went through and cleaned the EGR ports out on it, and you can see I just put the EGR back on. Where are we here? We got a bunch of aluminum dust here from the porting and stuff, getting all over everything. Trying to think. I wanted to keep doing some updates on this car. Well, that's probably a pretty good one right there. I just got to stuff some rings in the block still, so I guess we'll jump onto that. Okay, I just expanded the center ring on the rim, so now they fit correctly. Got the brand new tires put on it, and we're just about to put the balancing beads in. And these tires are ready to be bolted back on, and these are going to be some smooth rollers. Okay, the cylinder walls on this motor look beautiful. The crankshaft looks perfect. The new rings are on the pistons over here. Got stuff scattered all over on this car. Yeah, it looks really, really sharp, so we'll go ahead and put some pistons in it. Okay, just getting ready to stuff the short block in the motor. It's becoming a very, very long day, but it's going very, very well. Very, very well. So I'll just get this thing put on the hoist and get it hanging and set her in there. I've got, it's got a new clutch assembly on it now. What else? Oh, I don't know. I'll do another update here in just a little bit. One thing here, so Doug, I took out this metal shield in front of the motor that was all smashed up. And then this car's full of Bondo and welded over here, and the motor mounts, or this corner of the car isn't perfectly straight, so I had to pry on it, the engine, push the engine up to make the mount line up. But it looks like after it's tightened and relaxed back, it looks like it's just fine, but there's something here where they cut the motor mount out, and you can see the little bit of damage they fixed, but should be fine with no problem. Generally this mount sits straight in here, and you can see it's cocked off a little tiny bit. Not a big deal, but if you ever take that mount out, just know I use a jack handle. You're going to need some kind of leverage to get it in and out. Alright, I've got it mostly put back together. Just putting some antifreeze in it. Oh, I don't know, it's been hours since I shot the last video. I think we're gonna, it's getting late, it's almost dark. I think I'm gonna call her a night and come in the morning and get it fired up, and we'll go from there. Looking like some nice happy antifreeze. Okay, we just fired it up, it's been running for, it's probably been running for a minute. Flickers have already gone quiet. Just waiting for it to come up to temperature and the idle to drop down. Looks like she's going to be a good runner. Yeah, it runs real nice. Nice and sweet, quiet. I'm happy with this. We'll move on to the next part of it, I guess. Alright, I'm just taking the rear brakes apart, but I thought I'd spin the drum on this side. The other side's noisy as heck. But you can just hear the wheel bearings wiped out over here. So I've got new wheel bearings put in all the way around the car, but that's the reason for it. Alright, got the brand new brake shoes on it. Just doing a little paint on there. Protect that hardware. Got the brand new drum here. The drum's been machined, got the new wheel bearings in it. And I'll go ahead and get this put back together and we'll see how quiet. Nice and quiet, like brand new. Not a single noise out of those. Love it. Only a couple 100,000 miles on those bearings. Alright, the front rotors are turned now. Just going to start going through the front end here. This machine's got a ripped open axle boot, so we're going to just put a brand new axle in the front of it, I'm sure. Get an email off to the owner, and the front wheel bearing here. If you're doing these yourself, the wheel bearing number is unreadable. I use the Koyo factory bearings. Alright, so time to rip the front end apart and get that part done. Oh, it's lunchtime. I think that's what I'm going to go do now. Alrighty. Just changed some tranny fluid. Spilt it all over, filling it up too. Nice job, Jeff. Got some new axle on this side just installed. The wheel bearings are installed now. Just getting ready to put some pads in it and lube that caliper up, and then we'll move to the other side of the car. Get the rest of the brakes put together. Alright, I'm just trying to catch up on a video here on this car. Oh, you can't see it from here. We'll get it on the hoist when I pressure wash it. I was going to say it's got new axles in it now. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. I've gone through the doors here. The windows roll up and down beautifully. Jiminy Christmas. Find me another Geo like that. Driver's side's just as good. Very nice that way. There we go. Got the new tires on it. Need to put the hood back on it, and it's ready for a pressure wash. And I think everything's done. I gotta grab my checklist out, but I think we're ready to go on this one. This is gonna just be a sweet driver. Once it's repainted too, it's gonna be a really nice car. Can't beat that. Alright, probably the next video will be in pressure washing it.